Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Tamara Zoner here, and it's Monday. I'm here to remind you how much you matter. As we go into the holiday season, and if you're in the US, Thanksgiving this week, it's an especially important time to remember that you matter and to treat yourself like it. I want to offer you today and throughout this week some food for thought instead of the consumption, and also some practices that could help you along your way. So since we're still a few days away from Thanksgiving, and for those of you in other parts of the world, just use this for the holidays that are going on or coming up for you, whatever you celebrate. And one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves during times of greater activity, which often people call greater stress, and I'm going to call it greater activity because stress can be good or bad, and stress is really how we perceive it. A situation can be a lot of fun, we can be very busy, and it doesn't have to be stressful. Okay, it can be mindful, it can be full of gratitude, it can be full of fun, it can be any of those things. So first of all, be mindful of what you're calling it. Be mindful of how you're thinking about the upcoming holidays and the gatherings that you may be having. And start to bring awareness to what you're thinking about it. And what feelings you're feeling about it as you're thinking about it. Are you feeling excitement and love because you're happy that you get to go spend time with people that you maybe haven't seen in a while, or you love these gatherings? Or are you dreading it? Are you fearful? Are you having some anxiety? Are you maybe reimagining old conversations, past holidays that didn't go so well, and so you're psyching yourself up in a negative way? Remember, our brains do not know what's real or imagined. It doesn't know the difference. So if you're replaying those negative thoughts, as we tend to as humans, those of you who've heard me talk about the mind, you may recall, on average, 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of those are repetitive, and 85% of those are negative thoughts. So we're replaying and replaying negative experiences in our minds and anchoring those in. What I'm going to invite you to do instead this week is to sit back and visualize the experience you would like to have this week and throughout the holiday season. Could you imagine yourself feeling calm, collected, at ease tomorrow morning, the next day, Thursday, waking up feeling grateful for everything in your life, and I mean everything, and confident that you can maintain a sense of ease and calm? Visualizing that is so powerful and will really set the tone for your holiday. You get to decide how this goes. And though you can't control the people around you or what they do or how they respond, you can certainly decide today, if family chaos happens, I will maintain my peace and calm. I will make my peace and calm my priority. I am willing to walk away from chaos and disruption. I am willing to protect my peace. And now that you've made this affirming, loving statement to yourself, consider what actions you can take to do that. Perhaps you carve out a little extra time in that day to take some quiet time, a meditative practice perhaps in the morning, or a practice of gratitude before the events of the day begin, so that you can really bring your energy up and be centered in love? Could you also practice perhaps anchoring in that emotion throughout the day? So if you notice, and awareness is key, we have to notice in order to make a change. We have to notice that there's something that's not quite what we want it to be before we can make a change. And so start paying attention all day today and tomorrow, and catch yourself in the act of worry and anxiety around the holiday. And then pause, use some of the tools we've talked about in the past, whether it's tapping or Byron Katie's The Work, which is a great one when we're dealing with repetitively negative thoughts, or simply something as short and sweet as the heart centering or inner ease technique that I've taught before, where we just breathe in and out of the energy of our heart space for a minute or two to get our heart rhythm back into a coherent level, lower our cortisol, and feel more ease and peace. You have the tools, and it's up to you to use them to support yourself in this busier week of holidays and this busier season of the holidays. Another way to demonstrate to yourself that you matter is by setting clear boundaries and keeping them. And I realize this is easier said than done, and that's why I'm inviting you to practice them now. So if you know that you have a family member that really loves the chaos and really enjoys, or seems to, pushing people's buttons, decide today that yours won't be pushed. Create a healthy boundary for yourself. And I'll share with you now something I've actually learned from a therapist. And when someone is talking about something that is making you feel uncomfortable, and you notice your stress response activating, and if you pay attention to your body, you'll start to recognize, oh, my shoulders are tensing, I'm scrunching my forehead more, I'm holding my breath. Catch yourself in the act of tensing up, and then use this sensory tool where you use all 5, maybe even 6 senses, and you say, what do I see right now? Maybe you just look at the brightest color in the room. Take a breath. Then what do you hear? Not the person who's irritating you. Focus on maybe the sound of the heater vent, or the jingle of laughter, or perhaps there's music in the background. Fix your attention on something you hear. Take a breath. Release. What do you smell? On Thanksgiving, for sure, we're going to smell all sorts of wonderful things. And so notice the smell, really let it in. Take a breath. Release it. You're not only grounding yourself in the present moment, but with each breath, you're allowing your brain to get back on board with you. Remember, our amygdala goes into fight, flight, or freeze, wah, and we want to shut it back down so that we can think. So, what do you taste? And then texture. What do you feel? Maybe you're wearing something fuzzy, or maybe you play with the ring on your finger, or maybe you even touch your hair, or the table you're at, or the chair. Find a texture, put your attention on it, take another deep breath. Then, when you've got your body back online with you and your brain, here are some words you could practice. Hey, Uncle Bob. No offense if your name is Bob. I am not going to stand here and listen to you talk about this anymore. I am going to walk away now. And then walk away. You don't have to react and step into it with Uncle Bob or whomever is your Uncle Bob. You can step out of it. And yes, I know what you're saying. Oh, they'll just follow me. Same thing. Use your sensory exercise and then calmly say, Uncle Bob, I love you. And therefore, I'm going to walk away from this conversation right now. And walk away. Right? This is a tactic that I use with my own family because I have different beliefs than they do and fall on the opposite end of the political spectrum. And I love them so much that I am not willing to sacrifice our family relationship just to fight for what I believe in that is different from them, or to try to convince them that they should believe what I do. And when they try that on me, I lovingly walk away. I love you so much, I'm not willing to argue with you over this. I choose our family over our politics. Granted, I know that there can be some extreme situations where you really do have to choose your politics or your personal beliefs over anything else. If anything in my home was talked about that I felt was harming humanity, then I would stand up for that. And really, my family's full of good human beings. And human beings want to be seen and heard. That's the bottom line. So if you can remember that and come from this intention of being loving no matter what occurs, first to yourself and then to others, then I know for sure that you can navigate this holiday season with peace and love and relative ease. So practice now manifesting, calling in, and being in this state of ease, peace, calm, and love, and visualizing what you want to experience, visualizing lovingly walking away from chaotic situations or arguments, and above all, know that you matter. Your mental health matters, your physical and emotional well-being matters, and it matters more than anybody else's thoughts about you. Okay? So take some time for you to practice these skills, and I'll offer some more on our Wednesday weekly 5 minutes for you skills that take 5 minutes or less, so that you have them at your fingertips when you need them. Remember, all the tools that we learn will only be accessible to us in the moments that we need them if we practice them when we don't, so that we can call them up and utilize them. I am wishing you a very beautiful and peaceful and loving holiday season, and I will speak to you again tomorrow when I pull a Tuesday Truth Bomb. I can't wait to find out what it is. I'm Tamara Zoner, reminding you how much you matter. Treat yourself like you do, and you'll start believing it too.